I'm about to make a vlog. Vlogiana. Hello YouTube, welcome to my page. My name is Brian Kearney. I'm so ecstatic that you took the time out to watch this video and to be with me on something that is very dear and near to my heart. Very quickly, I just wanted to ask that you would follow me, that you would like, subscribe, and comment, and please share this on whatever platform that you have this on. I promise you this is going to be very good. This is my first vlog, and the reason why I'm vlogging is because on my Instagram I asked people would they rather read a blog, because I love it, right? Or would you rather listen and watch a video? And from the poll, most of the responses were make a vlog. So, here I am. Very quickly, you can also follow me on Instagram. My handle is B.Kearney_. That's B.Kearney_. I will very much love for you to follow and to connect with me on Instagram. So, the purpose of this vlog is actually a response to a blog that I've already written, which is called Creed, and I was going to make a series out of that blog. I will put a link down in the description for you to go back and read if you would like, and if you would like to follow me on my blog if you would like, right? And so the purpose of Creed was to explain and to be vulnerable and transparent and to express the emotional trauma and bondage that I was in, and how I kind of worked out of it, and how I was pressing forward. And so today will be a continuation, and I will but I'm going to expand on that, right? So you can see the bigger picture from that. So let me give a quick introduction. I currently live in Chicago. 27 years old, philosophy major. I moved here from Houston, Texas a month ago, right? I bet you're wondering, why did you do that? Faith move. I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus Christ, right? I believe in prophecy. The word of the Lord came to me to move to Chicago. The next phase of my life was here, and I went. Was it scary? Yes. Was there security in it? No. But did it pay it off? You absolutely bet it did, right? So whenever you stand on the word of God, the word cannot fail. Getting into the purpose and the topic of today. Something that I want to deal with today is men and grief. I'm going to say it one more time, men and grief. Right? This is something that's near and dear to my heart, right? I personally believe, and statistics shows, that when men are going through excruciating pain, excruciating emotional trauma, we do not seek out the help that we need, and we do not properly express or allow ourselves to go through that pain in a constructive manner. We don't allow ourselves to press out of it correctly so that we could, in game, become back a restored man, a total man, a healed man, a whole man. And so I wanted to make this vlog to be open, to be transparent, to be vulnerable, and to encourage many other brothers that would see this, that would watch this, to admit when you need help, to correctly engage, process, feel, and deal with those issues in a constructive manner and not a destructive manner, right? So in 2017, I went through what I was beginning to go through divorce. My laptop keeps sleeping, so don't mind me if I keep messing with it. So 2017, around September, I was going through divorce, right? Divorce was starting. And at the time, me and my wife, we separated, was going through hardships, and we couldn't do life together, so we initially separated, right? But At the time, I was shocked, and this is stage one of grief. It's shock and denial. It shocked me because I couldn't believe that I was about to go through this, right? I am a person who loves when I love deeply. Anybody that knows me knew how much I loved my wife, right? And knew how crazy it was about her. And it just rocked me to my core because this is something in life that I always wanted, right? I love I love marriage, and we were still transitioning in marriage. Uh, we was almost coming up upon a year, right? 11 months into our marriage, we separated, and it rocked me to my core. I could not believe this, and so I just, in my mind, I was like, no, this is not happening. I'm finna fight for my marriage. I'm finna fight for my family, and I'm just not finna do this, right? Wrong. It didn't happen that way. Everything that happened it just fell to the ground. So you can imagine, right, how I felt about this. Totally devastated. Um, Stage two of grief, right, is now uh, it's denial. I know I said what did I say? Shock and denial, but it's shock and disbelief, and stage two is denial, right? So I just couldn't fathom this, right? This just could not register in my mind, because how could I not only get to this place, but how could I let my family get to this place? And it was something that was eating at me, right? This is something that was totally rocking me to my core, which brought about feelings of guilt, which is the next stage of the grief cycle. I was totally condemning myself. How could I let my family get here? How could I fail my wife? How could I fail my stepson? How could I fail my family, my friends, my peers? How could I drop the ball? Why, like things like that. Like, why did I not, live up to expectations that I have for myself? And guilt was really eating at me. Because of guilt, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. It was tearing me apart. I had crazy separation anxiety, and I had friends. My friends at the time. Everybody was behind me to keep me uplifted and to keep me engaged. But when I lay my head on my pillow at night, I'm beating myself up, and trust me, nobody can beat me like I can. And so with this brought about a great deal of anger, which is the next step in the process, right? I was mad at myself. I was mad at my wife. I was mad at God, because I felt like, hey, I'm finally living how I should live. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. How could you not come to my rescue, right? And so let me interject and tell you guys that as I go through this, I want you to know that it's okay to feel like this, right? Because if you disengage, or if you sweep it under the rug and you keep telling yourself that I'm not supposed to feel like this, then all you're doing is bottling up those emotions. You need to know that it's okay to feel like this, and you need to know that it won't always be like this, right? And so, statistics shows that people deal with grief in two types of styles: intuitively and instrumentally. Intuitively is people who deal with it in their own way behind closed doors, and it may seem to others like they're not dealing with it, which is not true. And for me, I was dealing with it in an instrumental way, and that means that I was doing physical activities to keep myself up. And so while with anger, I was working out, I was boxing, because I had lost so much weight because of guilt and depression. I was about 160, and I'm a tall guy, so I was looking like a broomstick, and so I had almost distracted myself with doing things like that, right? And that's another thing that men do. We will work ourselves blind. We will distract ourselves with some type of physical activity to not deal with what we're feeling in the inside. And so this anger is actually the objective in my first blog, which is entitled Creed. That was what I was writing about, anger. Anger, out of the 7 stages of grief, literally almost took me out. I was so mad, right? And it's not like I was a ticking time bomb. It was more so that I could have fully opened myself up to more destructive behavior. And so working out, really being able to manifest what I was feeling in the inside and put it into some type of physical form really, really helped me out. Statistics shows that when men are going through grief, they don't grieve properly. They don't open up channels for them to grieve in the correct way. Men are more prone to alcoholism, drug abuse. If you listen to some of our music now, most of these artists who are really heartbroken turn to drugs, turn to promiscuity, doing high risk behavior things that are very, very destructive, like gambling and things of that sort, right? Which sweeps everything under the rug, which totally blinds them for what is going on. And it just adds fuel to the fire. So you're not dealing with it, but you're putting more and more things over it, and it's still eating at you because you're not fulfilling yourself. You're not getting the help that you need, right? And so to the brothers that's watching this, if you know that's you, and I'm speaking to you, it's time to come out of that. It's time to deal with the issue head on, right? So, in the next step of my grief, it was depression, and I want to stop it quick, right? Because I'm going through the 7 stages of grief. Just because I'm going from 1 to 7, do not mean that that's exactly how it's going to go, right? You can go from 1 to 6, from 6 to 2 to 5, 5 to 4. From 4 to 7, back to 3, all the way back to stage 1. What I need you to know is that this is a process. What I need you to know is it's okay if you take 1 step forward and you go 2 steps back. What I need you to know is that you're going to come out of this. Just get through it day by day, right? So depression was really tricky for me because I was a person who had always dealt with depression. I saw a counselor for seasonal depression, and so depression, I believe the Bible calls it a spirit of heaviness, right? Depression is so heavy to carry, right? You can be all bubbly, giggly on the outside, rainbows, sunshines, but in the inside, right, it's dark, it's cloudy. You don't always see your way through. You're hopeless. You don't see the light at the tunnel, and nobody can pick up that you're depressed because you're such a good actor, right, on the outside, that nobody would think to even ask about your mental makeup. And another thing that really staggered me with depression is that I couldn't be the friends that I grew up with, right, that were close to me and also my wife. I couldn't be around them anymore. And it's not that they did anything bad, but I was so depressed that I could not be around them because it made me think of my wife. Some were related to her; they were my in-laws, and some we all just grew up together because me and my wife met back in high school. So we had history together, right? And I just couldn't do it. It just weighed too heavy on my mind to lose the same woman twice, to lose, that sense of family and friends, right? Depression robbed me. from relationship, and that's how it bled over. It robbed me from my relationships. I tried to date, uh, which I don't know why, but it robbed me of that. It made me an emotional spender. I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars I spent just to distract myself from the pain of depression. Just doing whatever I wanted to do, going out 4 to 5 times a week, uh, just to hang out with the couple of friends I did have. I pay for everybody's stuff, and I'm a really cheap person. I'm not going to hold you. It really, really bled over, and I'm telling you, it's the grace of God that I even made it through depression. Because to be honest, I don't even remember. I don't remember how I wholeheartedly came out of depression. But God and prayers of my families and friends, their encouraging words spoken over my life. I really encourage any man who is dealing with depression right now to seek counseling. It's something that I wish that I would have did in the beginning rather than at the end. But for those who are like me, who waited to the latter to seek professional help, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're tending to your whole man, that's the end game, right? That's the goal of being whole and being restored. So out of depression, the sixth stage is reconstruction, right? So I began to tell myself, hey, this is what it is. This is what we have to work with. So let's make the best out of it, right? So not only was I going through divorce, I was transitioning from marriage to singleness. I was also getting out of the military at the time. So I was going from being USN, right, being in the Navy, going back to being a civilian. I was moving from Washington back to Texas. So I was going through many transitions in this phase of my life. I was going from one university to another. I was going from one church to another. So there was many things happening at one time, right? And I was just trying to make the best of it by any means necessary. And when I came back home, I had to move back home with my mother. As shameful as that, as it was for me, it was something that I had to do, and I couldn't complain about it. You know, the life that I was coming back home to, I could not come back to anymore. You know, the plans that I had were totally out the window. The backup plans to the backup plans were gone. So at this stage, I really depended on God to give me direction about what to do with my life in this season, to what to focus on in this season. And that's what I focused on, and that's what I pushed myself to, right? And when you start to think like that, right, you move on to acceptance. You accept what happened. You accept where you're at, and you accept the place you're trying to go. And that's the 7 stages of grief. And I know that it may sound simple, but it's really not. Like I said earlier, you can go from stage 1, from shock and disbelief, to depression, to anger, back to square 1, all the way to square 7, and it can flip flop. It can go any type of way. And so this is a process. You need to know that some days you're going to be on top, some days you're going to be on the bottom. You need to know that it's okay to feel what you're feeling, long as you don't let those feelings push you into destructive behavior. You need to know that you need somebody who can not only keep you accountable, but good people, good community to lift you up, because it is instrumental. If you allow yourself to isolate and to feel these things, they will overwhelm you and overtake you and seduce you into believing that there is no way out of this. You need to know that it's okay to admit that you need help. You need to know that it is okay to seek counseling. You need to know that it is not weak for you to want to be better. and to be restored and to be a healthy man, a whole man. Do not fall for the toxic masculinity that men just need to be strong all the time, and that you need to tough it out, and that you need to be a man about this. When truth is, there's nothing cowardice about being vulnerable. There's nothing cowardice about admitting that you need help. The cowardice is in the pride. The cowardice is in the covering it up, right? Those things, right, are not being strong. Those things are hindering and stumbling blocks. It is okay to admit you need help. It is okay to admit you need help. This is something that I am passionate about, right? This is something that I want to be transparent, because I believe God is restoring men, and not just on the external, but on that three core level, the spirit, the soul, and the physical you. You need to be a healthy man to go and chase the future. You need to be a healthy man, right, for your legacy. You need to be a healthy man, right, to fulfill the call, the purpose, and the destiny and the anointing that is on your life. I don't mean to sound preachy. It's just in my DNA. But I want to encourage my brothers, right, that it's okay to seek help, and it's okay to feel how you're feeling. You're not alone. I did this because I want to see you better. I did this to open up my experience, right? To hopefully to push, to motivate somebody to get into a better place where they can get the help that they need. And this is just my prayer for you, that you would receive beautiful ashes and the oil of joy for mourning, right? And the garments of praise for heaviness, and that God would lead you and put you around the right company of people, the right Nathans that can advise you, that can push you to your destiny, that can help you become a whole man. I'm going to continue this. I'm going to be in and out of blogging and vlogging. I want to connect with other men who are not ashamed and who can be vulnerable to give their testimony and give their experience to you guys, so that you can really be strengthened, right, to go and get into a better place, so you can pull somebody else out of their own process, of their own descent, right, in grief. So I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, for taking the time out. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your feedback. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's b.kearney_. I thank you guys. We're going to get the ball rolling with this one. Expect me to be back. You guys have a great day.